after that City win at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, there are going to be a lot of, I don't know, discussions, debates, a lot of thought-provoking chat around where things went wrong for Arsenal. I mean, the debate's already happening. There'll be the, you know, was it that Villa defeat? Was it the 2 defeats in a row to West Ham and Fulham? It'll be the draw at home to Fulham when you're up against 10 men and leading 2-1, having turned it around. There'll be lots of questions about all that. And I understand that. And for what it's worth, the season's not done, and I do hold hope for Sunday, but it's worth just admitting the position we're in, that it's looking unlikely. And there'll be a lot of discussion as to what went wrong, where it went wrong, and a lot of different takeaways. But here's my takeaway, people. My takeaway from what we've seen, especially in the last few months, well, in the last month, really, month or two, is just that the fine margins of football can be so unbelievably decisive. That's not to say that, you know, anything drastic like the Premier League table lies. You know, if City are top and we're second, that, you know, one small moment would have changed it and that the table's lying. And it's nothing like that. Nothing like that. City have been undefeated since December. No one could say they're not worthy champions if they go on to lift it, which they probably will. But my takeaway really has just been, look at those moments, that the finest of margins that make such a massive difference. And when you look at that and you realise that that is really what's denying you, that's really what is in between you and glory and ultimate success, you kind of realise, like, surely one day the chips will fall in your favour. Surely one day, you know, you'll look at that pack of cards and you'll see a full house. Surely one day, like, that will go the way you want if you keep doing the right things. Because I think if Arsenal were to win the title this year, maybe unlike last season, no one would have said we didn't deserve it. For the football we've played, from pure data, Arsenal have been magnificent. But there's a team that's maybe just slightly more magnificent. You know, when push came to shove and they had some of their off days, they didn't lose, whereas Arsenal did. Both Arsenal and Man City have won 27 games this season, but they've only lost 3. We lost 5. Those extra 2 points are what's going to win them the title. And some people laughed at Declan Rice when Declan Rice said, if you can't win games, you know, if you can't win games, don't lose them. Like, at least get a draw out of them. People thought, what kind of mentality is that? But that might be the mentality that's just about to get Man City over the edge. It's not like we've got the same amount of draws, but they turned 2 defeats into wins. It's that they picked up 2 extra points when they were behind to Chelsea, when they were, you know, struggling at Liverpool and on the back foot. They got that point out of that performance, even though they weren't playing that well. So my takeaways are about the fine margins and the small moments and the little details that you might think, well, that's just a point. Well, that's a draw, and it's still, you know, it's a draw when you play badly, and, you know, we can all enjoy that it's dropped points, but maybe, another day, the fact they didn't lose is actually what's going to do. And that's my takeaway. That's what I'm sitting here thinking. That's what I'm feeling. But I also look at 2 big moments, and you'll have seen it on the thumbnail of this video. And again, I talk about the fine moments, the fine margins. Look at Heung-min Son, through on goal against Arsenal, through on goal against Tottenham. We're talking about, in the same season, the same club, needing the same thing, which is an equaliser, with the same player. Almost the exact same situation. And Son buried one, and he missed the other. For what it's worth, I think you're all giving him too much credit saying he missed it on purpose. I think it was a poor finish. I think that was a big moment through on goal. He got it wrong. That's my honest opinion. But look at that. Like, look at the difference, right? And that might be what cost us the title. The way those 2 moments played out for each team. Now, look, we should have beaten Villa. I'm not blaming Son. If anyone thinks I'm blaming Son, I'm not blaming Son. Like, I don't care now. He's missed it, whatever. It happened in a game where Vicario made a wonder save and Dragusin cleared him off the line. Like, you know, City also missed chances that really should have been goals. So I'm not going to fixate on that too much. But I just find the fine moments of football so interesting, because Liverpool had it when I think Stones cleared a ball off the line. It was that close to being a goal, but he cleared it off the line. They go on to get another goal. They win that game. They win the title by a point. And that denied Liverpool the Premier League in the end. You know, Kompany stepping up and walloping one into the top corner. Ask him to take that effort 50 times. I think he scores 3 or 4 of them. But that moment, he got it right. There was an Iheanacho miss in that game as well. And it takes me back to the fine margins of football, the moments that are just like, wow, Trossard, if he just put that slightly to the right of Emi Martinez, we're probably going into this game ahead of City, at least on goal difference. And I just, actually, no, we'd be ahead of them on points. We'd be a point ahead. And the fine margins of football are just incredible. Some people have been laughing at me because I was happy with that point at the Etihad. But if we'd beaten Villa, the narrative on that game would be City missed the chance to beat Arsenal when they had them at their ground, when Arsenal were on the back foot defending for large parts. And City, you would say, bottled the chance to do that. The fine margins, and look how it changes the perception and the conversation. And that's my big takeaway, people. And why is that important? Apart from just sort of like making me feel better, the hopium, copium, all that. Why am I saying all this? Because I think we can all do think pieces and reflect on Mikel Arteta. And some of you get mad at me. I do videos where I say he should have done this, we should have tried that, I would like us to. And again, I always say, he's forgotten more than I ever know about football. I always say that. But I think this is actually a moment for us all to go, he took us really close again, but this time closer than ever. And it's not done yet, I will say that. But we've come really close, and it might just be those fine margins that have denied us. Partey and Timber being injured all season. Maybe if De Bruyne had been fit all season, there'd be 5 clear. I don't know. These are the fine margins we're working with. And it just makes me feel like whatever happens, we are absolutely on course. From the eye test, you can see it. We are on course from a data perspective. We are on course in terms of the trajectory and feeling around the club, the way the fan base is. We are on course to do special things in the coming years. So Arsenal fans, we have to swallow our medicine this week. If we have to, go through this pain a little bit, like we did last year, just hold it within you, which I really believe that great days are coming. And it might not. Tottenham were competitive for 2 seasons in a row where they fell short of the Premier League title. And they didn't build on that. They fell away. And silverware didn't come. That can happen. But I don't believe we're Tottenham. And I don't believe that our trajectory and our performances and what we've been doing have shown the cracks that maybe previous other teams that didn't quite make it have. I think we're much more looking like a Liverpool under Klopp, who, okay, they got to 90 plus tallies and you felt it was inevitable with them and they won the Champions League. I acknowledge all that, but I feel we're closer to that kind of trajectory than the ones who have come close and fallen off, like Ollie's team finishing second as Man United, and you're thinking they had Varane, Ronaldo, surely now, and they fall away. I don't think we're that kind of team. I think we are going in the right direction, and I'm proud. I'm proud of this team. I'm not done yet. I do hold hope for the weekend. I hold hope that Kudus, who's a moments player, Bowen, who turns up in big games, David Moyes, who can set up a low block and set pieces, which West Ham are good at, could come through on the day. Ward-Prowse might chuck one in the top corner because he's done it more times than anyone else in the Premier League, in Premier League history. I'm going to hold hope for that, guys. And you know what? If we don't do it, maybe Paqueta will put in a masterclass as he tries to earn a move to Man City. Look, I don't know. I don't know. I can only hope. And when it's done, we'll sit here and reflect on what went wrong. But my main takeaway from this week is that fine margins are massive. The fine margins in a game, those things that feel so small can have such a massive impact on a whole Premier League season. And for that, I can't sit here and be mad at Arteta and the team. I can sit here and just say that unlike last season where I ended it really deflated and thinking, can I do this? Can I go through a whole campaign again? This time I'm feeling excited. I'm like, look at the way we just ended this one. I'm raring to go for this next one. And I want to go far in the cups. And I want to show that we've learned from the Champions League. And I'm not just thinking, okay, this is the year we might win the Premier League. I'm actually going to go into next season thinking, I'm ready to be competitive on all fronts. Kai Havertz has shown what he can do in this team, whether we need an upgrade or not. Declan Rice is absolutely every penny £105 million brings you. Saka and Martinelli, and they're still young players who can get better. Timber's to be added, and who knows who else comes in. I just feel excited for it, and I am going to go into this Sunday with a smile on my face going, we could win the Premier League. And if at 6 PM we haven't, We haven't. And it will hurt. It will hurt like that Tottenham Heung-min Son miss hurt as well. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't all be disappointed, but my takeaway is the fine margins are so fine that one day they'll go our way. That's how I feel. And I might be wrong. I might be delusional. But I'd rather live and support my team and hope that these things will go our way than be super pessimistic that was like our chance. I don't think this young squad and this young manager have had their only chance. And I think there's more to come. And I just want to say a really big thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, actually hit the links right here to watch more content like this, including my Football First podcast, which drops every Monday to Friday at 6 AM. And I know it's annoying, I am really sorry to have to ask, but if you want to show support to the channel, hitting the like and subscribe buttons help promote the content much more than you could possibly know. Thanks again.